Alright, match 5. Have to do some post-game commentary again. But hey, you know, we don't have Aether Vial, but we've got Thraben Inspector into Charming Prince. Could be good to me. Now, even if they waste a Lightning Bolt on Thraben Inspector, I still think we came out ahead because we still get this clue token. And this is a clear example of where this is better than Giver of Runes, because, I mean, I guess yeah, because like basically we'd be in the same spot, just we wouldn't have the clue. You know, either way we force their hand. So far there's nothing about this that suggests to me that I need Giver of Runes as opposed to Thraben Inspector. So we're going to hold up Aven Mindscensor to try to juke them. They crack, we try to juke, but then they Lightning Bolt. But still, I mean, they're using their removal spells on our somewhat weaker creatures, so like we're not completely behind. We're going to try to go for a Stoneforge Mystic into Charming Prince, and we're going to get Sword of Fire and Ice. Because just from my experience playing against Sword of Fire and Ice in a mono-red deck, when I have to imagine a blue-red deck would be basically the same thing, it's just very difficult when they've got protection from your color. So they play a 3/3, but the good news is they probably don't have that much more, because, I mean, you know, if they have more creatures, you'd think they would play them. So anyway, what we can do is we can Solitude, dealing with the Dragon Rage Channeler. But here's what I was not expecting. They're subtletying our Solitude. As we get to play out the Sword of Fire and Ice. They thought Scour us, hitting... Wait a minute, they didn't thought Scour us. I thought they did. Yeah. Yeah, and then they play out this. That's a lot. Now, for some reason, we didn't draw another Solitude, even though I thought I put that on the top, but I guess I must have actually put it on the bottom. Not sure why, because I clearly remember thinking to put it on the top, but in any case, you know, here we already drew another white card off of Sword of Fire and Ice, and we can draw another one, and I think that's a better card to pitch. Unfortunately, they're going to gain a lot of life, and we're dead on a turn 2 clock. So, we kind of need Mortarpod, I think, because we need to be able to tag the Channeler, finish it off with Mortarpod, and Skyclave another one, but unfortunately, it's not going to get us there. Alright, match 5, game 2. This hand is definitely keepable. We've got Aether Vial, we've got removal. Now, hopefully we draw like a more disposable white card. Now, yeah, I think we just path, because like, the removal is such a premium, we're going to hold on to it. Yeah, of course they go nuts with their cards, but you see now we can just thin a little bit and we can play Skyclave Apparition on our turn. Hopefully they don't toot it. Or subtlety it. Okay, they subtletied it, but I think we're okay because next turn we can play it off of Aether Vial, and they can't subtlety it that way. Now, the way they're holding up 4 mana, to me, was just incredibly suspicious. They had another subtlety, so I'm just going to play around that by vialing in the Skyclave Apparition. We can wait till next turn to vial in the Eidolon. And also what we could do here is we could vial in the Eidolon to block, which actually, in retrospect, I think I should have done that. Because if they didn't get Delirium, because also if they play any other spell, which they're kind of liable to do, if they played one other spell, then they can't even respond to Eidolon. And of course they might have, yeah, but they probably would have played that second main phase anyway. But see, we'll just hit that in another basic. See if we draw. Okay, so we're probably going to end up pitching the Eidolon. I mean, the Eidolon can be good, but yeah, we just got to deal with this now before they can like subtlety it, which I strongly suspect that they're holding up. Oh, but apparently not. I was wrong. Yeah, now let's do our Eidolon trick. So see, they already played a spell. They don't have Delirium yet, and voila, Eidolon. They can't even finish it off with Lightning Bolt because they can't play another spell that turn. So that was pretty sweet. Alright, and we're going to attack. Hopefully we can just land this Batterskull soon, but thankfully we got a path for the Regent. Alright, Flickerwhisp. I'm actually going to hold this Flickerwhisp because I suspect they've got a Braid or something, and I want to be able to protect my Batterskull. And also I'm going to save the Skyclave, and I might be able to flicker the Skyclave like against another region or something. So, yeah. Now I play the Batterskull. They counterspell. That was disappointing. Alrighty. Now we attack. We're getting a little fuddy here. Now, here we will take this opportunity to save the Skyclave. I mean, sure, they get a token and we don't get to kill another creature, but I think saving it is worth it. Unfortunately, they immediately play another Regent, which would have been good to flicker, because it would have brought it down to a 3/3 when it came back into play, but, you know, alas. And we could have used that, like, literally one turn earlier, and it would have basically prevented Murktide from coming out, at least until turn 7, and only as a 3/3 at that. So, they're, you know, they can race us fairly well, but we're going to try to race in response. Things looking kind of grim because they bolt that. Attack for 7, now we die next turn unless we get a removal spell, but thankfully we do. Get our path. They Delirium, which is fine. We path on, yeah, on their turn, just so, because they already played a spell, yeah, they already played a spell, so we wanted to make sure they couldn't counter it, which they couldn't because they played a spell that turn. Now, there's literally no reason for me to cast that. That was just a misplay. But not a big deal anyway. I guess we were trying to next level and beat them out. Okay, Flickerwhisp. I kind of want to hold on to this again. No, I guess I'll just go for it because at least we deal with the token. Ooh, Kaldra. So one more mana away, and we can Kaldra them. Alrighty. Alright, Kaldra time. And that's that. Alrighty. Okay, match 5, game 3. Let's see if we can end on a 4-1. Pretty sweet. They play Delver. I think I'm going to upkeep path it. Well, actually, let's see. Ideally, I can Mortarpod it, but unfortunately, insta-flip doesn't always happen. I'm going to do this before they can draw a counterspell, because that card is just, yeah. Alright, now, here's a critical moment. Do we play Rest in Peace, or do we play Mortarpod? And I went with Mortarpod because my thinking was I don't want them to Delirium up. I want to prevent them from getting their Surveil triggers. Only problem is here, yeah, they respond by Thought Scouring, and then they end up getting themselves Delirium. I think that's a little bit lucky, but I mean, it can happen. Yeah, at least they didn't respond to me trying to hit it with the Mortarpod. So I think my thinking was sound, and my thinking is, hey, well, at least I can play Rest in Peace this turn. Yeah, and I just deal with the Solitude because we can only, you know, even as a 1/1, we want to be able to deal with them. But my thinking is, hey, we can play Rest in Peace. Now, in retrospect, I probably should have led on the Skyclave, because I guess I could have deduced that they were holding up Counterspell. Man, and like Rest in Peace, we have yet to see that land early, but I'm pretty sure this really makes the matchup. It tilts it way in our favor, I think, if it resolves. Of course, they play Expressive Iteration. Yeah, we're definitely more in the back foot now, but at least we can remove this. We're waiting until I get to 5 mana and I guess start drawing Solitudes. Yeah, without Solitude, I don't even know what you do. Like, I don't know what the game plan is. Play Subtlety, play Expressive Iteration, play Dragon Rice Channel, and I think they play another Regent too. It's also it's all pretty bad for us. All right, well, see. What is it with these Rest in Pieces always coming like one turn too late? Anyway, at least we can, yeah, blink the Regent. Now, okay, they remove it. And that's that, unfortunately. Disappointing end, but yeah, we have no flyers, so we can't. So you see, in retrospect, if we would have landed that Rest in Peace on turn 2, I think there's a decent chance we could have won. Couldn't have countered it then. Our Mortarpod would have been live all game. You know, but also they were kind of getting lucky this whole time, insta-flipping the Delver, getting Delirium on command with just one Thought Scour. But, you know, even with all this good luck they're getting, I think if we would have just landed that Rest in Peace on turn 2, I definitely should have done that, because, like, I was just forgetting that they had Counter Magic, and I don't know why I was forgetting that, but, like, I was thinking about them more as just a mid-range deck, and, yeah, definitely the added premium of being able to play around Counter Magic was something that if I had thought more deeply about, and I just wasn't, unfortunately, but if I had thought more about it, like, I mean, just think about this whole game. They would only have 1/1 Dragon Channelers. They would, their Murktide Regents would either not come into play, or they would come into play as a 3/3 on turn 7 at the earliest. I think that, and as far as I know, they don't play a lot of answers to Rest in Peace. They could play Brazen Power, but I don't think they really play much of that. And then they have exactly one turn to fill their graveyard or counter it. So yeah, unfortunately we lose this one, but like I still think this is a great showcase for like I still think like this is probably pretty much the best Death and Taxes build to combat this type of deck, because I do think that we were showing we are showing that we do have the tools to be able to beat this, and we did beat this previously. Yeah, we beat this previously 2-1, and honestly I think this felt like a pretty good matchup, you know, but depending on the draws and all kinds of things. But yeah, I mean, unless you're like main decking pro-red creatures, which I guess we could with Sanctifier and Vec, you know, and that's a sweet card that we don't have in our sideboard that I could try to fit in, but I just think Rest in Peace, Path to Exile, and Eidolon. I think, you know, yeah, so that's the only way we can maybe improve it a little bit. And honestly, even the pro-red creatures, like, even if they're gaining us a little bit of life, it's not really going to swing it here, for example. It's really the Rest in Peace that kind of swings this matchup. The Eidolons also sometimes help even more than pro-red for slowing opponents down. So, like, I don't even think we need pro-red, to be honest, but yeah, I mean, it's really, I did try some different variations of Death and Taxes, and I really do think that this version is set up the best against other fair decks. I've always said that our soft spot might be combo, because we're definitely a little light on the Hate Bears. We're light on the Dryads, we're light on the Phyrexian Revokers, but anyway. At least as far as fair decks go, we've got a lot of interaction, and unfortunately it just didn't go our way this time, but still felt like it was worth sharing. I really have almost never gotten worse than a 3-2, so, you know. So hey, if you want a deck that's pretty consistent but isn't necessarily like super overpowered, Death and Taxes might be your jazz. Anyway, all right.